Prison gangs run their criminal activity inside and outside prison walls, and LA street gangs are important to them. The prison gang members constantly recruit from the streets, and as we hear now from our Chris Blatchford.
It's midnight on a Saturday night. 19-year-old Jesse Jimenez and his date stop at this South Pomona liquor store. As she waits to make a purchase, Jesse sees something outside that makes him nervous. 2 carloads of 12th Street Sharkies gang members. The liquor store is their turf. Jimenez is from another neighborhood, his relatives in a rival gang. It is too late when he realizes the Sharkies have spotted him. He is targeted for an at-random execution. 16-year-old Ricardo Valles struggles with the murder weapon. It has misfired once already. Off camera, he goes back again. This time, one shot goes into Jesse Jimenez's temple. A cold, cowardly, senseless, brutal murder by a pack of teenagers. 6 of them go to prison. 4 get life terms. And from this street gang pool of bad seeds grows an endless crop of Mexican mafia soldiers.
It keeps snowballing, it just keeps going and going and going.
This veteran Mexican mafia member says there are close ties between the mob and street gangs.
They use the street gang to recruit their members and indoctrinate them.
Gang members don't care about going to jail.
Dexter Cole is a Pomona cop. His beat is street gangs. And for someone who grows up in the gang culture here, Cole says joining the Mexican mafia, also called MA, is just a furtherance of that way of life.
Becoming a member of the Mexican mafia is, for everybody else, like going to that Ivy League college or getting that top job at a good company. It's the ultimate as far as their life is concerned.
You see, homeboy, get a close-up on this. Ready?
Prison authorities describe David Barella, the driver of this car, as a Mexican mafia associate. He comes from Pomona's 12th Street Sharkies, and here he joins in at the birthday party of a homeboy's 4-year-old daughter. Mafia associates like Barella rubbing elbows with younger gang members.
Let me go a close-up on that one.
According to this Mexican mafia associate, setting them up for the future.
Well, they look up to him like a big brother. You know, they whatever the enemy wants, it's like that. Yeah, sure, anything you want. The enemy's calling the shots, in and out.
In jail, it is time-honored tradition, explains another prison gang veteran, to teach street gang recruits how to smuggle drugs and make weapons to do hits. Homemade prison knives called shanks made from anything metal, anything that can be found inside prison walls. A necessity, according to this Mexican mafia soldier.
Well, that's one of the first things you want to have access to, you know, when you're busted, is a shank.
Shanks can also be made from plastics, deodorant containers, shampoo bottles, and styrofoam cups. Homemade spears like these killed a guard at San Quentin. And this prison gang member, while locked up at the state's most secure prison at Pelican Bay, shows how he makes a deadly crossbow out of underwear elastic, paper, and plastic eating utensils.
They're capable of going all the way through the neck. And I could get an eye shot. I could drive it in as far as the skull would allow it to hit.
It is designed to kill from behind a cell door. And this Mexican mafia member says outside prison, MA also expects street gang members to kill for them. Your everyday drive-by isn't always what it appears to be.
They use the youngsters, neighborhood prison, street gangs, to make it look like it was a street gang killing, and in fact it wasn't. It was a contract hit, Mexican mafia hit within the walls of the prison.
Check this out.
One disillusioned gang member who became a Mexican mafia associate tells Action News In reality, joining up is like making a pact with the devil.
A lot of these young guys that want to get in the Mexican mafia, see, they don't realize the price they have to pay. Eventually, you'll be looking at life without, or you're going to be on death row.
And according to prosecutor John Monahan, death row is exactly the spot for hardcore Mexican mafia members.
And he's going to continue committing his crimes, whether he is in custody or out of custody. And the only thing that's going to stop it is to put him to death, is basically what it comes down to.
Whether or not the death penalty is a solution to curbing hardcore prison gang crime has been and will be debated in the future. Meanwhile, what is clear is this: prison gangs are a menace in and outside prison walls. There does not seem to be any deterrent to curb their criminal activity. And as one woman touched by the black hand of the Mexican mafia so aptly put it, they're all laughing at us.
There was a homie, he was from Rancho San Pedro, he's a lifer now. He got life. When he barely got busted, he was in the holding tank, and I don't know what happened, but it went on with the paisa, and him and some homies jumped the paisa and killed the paisa. He caught the case on the first day in IRC, you know?
Damn.
So he caught his fucking, he ended up getting 10 years for his actual case, and he got a life sentence for the in-house, you know? It just, it's just crazy. Like if you could survive our due time in LA County, you can do time in any county. I don't care what they say about any prison and a jail in like Mississippi or I know their toleration is fucked up, but if you could survive the LA County jail back in the day, now it's a lot better, like because of all the things that got played out and everything got put on blast. But before, back in the 90s, 80s, 70s, 2000s, early 2000s, it was vicious, you know.
Damn,
you can survive those. You can do anything, you know.
Yeah. How much of the contraband and drugs and cell phones and whatever weapons and things like that are getting into prisons are getting in through correctional officers?
I would want to say at least half.
Yeah.
Because it's or more, maybe half to 75.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'm gonna go 75 to be honest. Free staff, librarian, free staff, and I'm telling you all this stuff, and it's not even. People are gonna hate and say I'm exposing it. This has been known. Come on, everybody knows. I'm not saying anything that ain't been known, you know. Yeah. So it's not like, you know, they're gonna be like, oh, that fool better not go back to prison. Cause I'm not going back to prison. Believe that, because I'm not. Because I'm not stupid. After doing 14 years, I'm not gonna go back regardless. You know what I mean? You know, fuck it. But yeah, I mean, I would say 75 to 80, because you got the laundry lady, you got the cooks, you got the fucking, you know, you got everybody. You know, I got a homie, dog. I tell him, look, man, you wanted me to get him this one, I go, look, you've been down 11 years, you got fucking 2 more years. As long as I'm out here, you're gonna get $50 every week from me. Fucking don't do nothing stupid. And so I just catch him out right there and gets the start. I go, that's all you need, bro. You don't need nothing else. You don't want to make this move. You don't need none of that shit, you know. Just like my brother did for me when I was down to my last 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
That fool would cash me out every month for my 220, but he wouldn't get me nothing I was not supposed to have. He'd be like, nah, you coming home already, you know. I don't want you trying to do this move. You're not doing this move. You're not making this money. There's no need for all that, you know. And that's the way I do it. That's my boy. I was like, look, man, you're gonna get that money every week, and that's cool. And if you don't get it that week, you'll get doubled up the next. Don't even trip, but yeah, don't worry about having to make moves to have money to get this, because you don't need all that. You're too close to the house already.
Yeah, that's a true friend, man. That's a true friend right there. I've heard people say that when you go to prison, and you're involved, you know, with gangs, that you almost have to be somewhat racist. You know what I mean? Like, if you're black versus Latino versus black, like it's like you may like them outside, but fuck, when you get in, it's like, all right, it's on.
Yeah, those things are like, they go both ways. Like yeah, it's crazy like that. Yeah, like fuck yeah, it's because you know, a lot of Mexicans and blacks grew up with each other, like on the South Side. You want to see Compton, Paramount, South Side. Then you got people like me in East LA. It was a culture shock. I never knew no blacks until I got to jail and to prison. You know?
Yeah.
I didn't know about like the difference between. I knew Crip and Blood, what a Crip and Blood was, but I didn't know about fucking Hoover. I didn't know about the dudes from up north. You know, all these the Coomies and all. I didn't know none of these things. You know, and that was all culture shock. You know, like and it's crazy because, like you said, like these dudes grew up together. Like dudes are from Compton, they're Mexican and they're blacks, and then now they're straight enemies. They can't, you know, they can't even fucking they could barely say what's up, you know, let alone fucking dap each other up or something, you know. It was really tension. Now it's a lot different. Now I've seen a lot of difference with the tension between the blacks and the Mexicans, and even the Northerners and the Mexicans. It's a lot more like you actually see a Mexican and a black hug each other like not like a straight embrace hug.
Yeah.
But you know the kind of hug.
When you say what's up, homie, blah blah blah.
Yeah. You could never do that before. One time the homie did it, and everybody just looked at him like, "Oh, what the fuck are you doing?" You know, like you just don't do it. Now it's changed a lot. You see that now, you know.